Welcome to the SoberQ podcast.
Hi, my name's Damien. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a member of the Blacksmith Primary Service Group. I've been sober since the 2nd of November 2011. And the question I've been asked to share on is, what was the immediate effect of taking step 3? And I took step 3 in the garage of my sponsor's apartment that he shared with his partner at the time, who'd been kicked out for swearing too much. It was middle of summer and we were sweating like pigs, and it was the first time I'd ever been asked to pray with another man, let alone hold another man's hand. And I'd had a fairly solid experience leading up until that, and I felt the need to go through with it regardless of how uncomfortable I felt. And we did that. We got down on our knees. He knew it off by heart. I recited from the book. And probably the most immediate effect I can recall from that first third step experience was that I was compelled to go home and start writing my fourth step. I heard a lot of negative things in and around Alcoholics Anonymous about fourth steps and how horrible they were, and how many people who I suspect may have never done one sort of groaned out loud when I would mention I was in step 4. But I really, without being able to find words for it, I had enough of a spiritual experience, I guess just through doing that, and agreeing to do the prayer exercises that went along with the fourth step to give me the power to get through that document. It was my first ever fourth step. It was wasn't a written life story, but I was encouraged to go right through my life. And there are a lot of people on that list. There are a lot of principles on that list. A hell of a lot of institutions on that list. And one other thing I feel like I had the power to do was set aside the fear that I had around step 8 and 9, having to write a list of people I'd harmed and actually having to go out and start making amends. Fix a lot of garbage up financially and personally and privately, and just focus on the task at hand. And that was, I guess, a very practical, immediate effect of taking step 3. And I found sharing that experience with guys that I'm doing it with myself is the more I share that with them and the more I watch people just start to access enough power to write a fearless and thorough fourth step, the more I believe in the step process, and the more I believe that the divinity behind it is that it's written in order, and that I really, really understand the nature of my illness, the nature of my selfishness, and why it is that I have to write an inventory lest I drink and die. So thanks for asking me to share. It's a pleasure to share. It's a pleasure.
If you would like to share your experience on a recovery question, visit the SoberQ podcast website at soberq.com. Thanks for listening.